Well, Ty, we get a chance to look at the first half stats with the Tigers leading by 9 after the first half.
Well, the first thing that stands out to me is the free throw percentage, 92% for Pacific. And as I was looking down the stat sheet, every category is close except for the free throws. Pacific is up 13-3 at the free throw line. Man, that's the difference in the game. That's a 10-point difference right there.
That's it.
And if you look at the fouls, you have Pacific with 8 fouls, Riverside with 14 fouls, and then you have a bunch of kids on Riverside with 2. You got Butler with 2, Galbraith with 2, Carter with 2, Hands with 2, Schiller with 2. That's tough.
And you're talking about UOP, who as a team only shoots 71% on the season from the free throw line. So they're fouling. I mean, they're going to the line, but you notice they're sending the right people to the line.
Yeah.
Jackson, who never misses, didn't. Myrie Bowden didn't miss.
Yep.
So the guys that are sending to the line are the guys who don't miss.
Yeah, that's right. And what you'll typically find is when a team comes out and plays aggressive man-to-man defense, you're more apt to foul.
Right.
And we used to have a saying that says, fouling negates hustle. Fouling negates hustle. And in this situation here, Riverside's done a great job defensively, but they have to keep their hands out of the cookie jar.
Right.
Get down and slide those feet.
Leading scorers in the first half for Pacific, Demetrius Jackson with 11 and Myrie Bowden with 10 for the Highlanders. Ted Bell with 12 as he hit all of his shots from three-point range, all of his points coming from three-point range, where he was 4 of 7 from behind the arc.
Yeah. Both teams were even in total field goals. They each have 10 three-pointers. Actually, UC Riverside's up 7-6. It's the free throw line. Rebounds 16-15, just in favor of Pacific. Assists 7-5. I mean, it's all even except for the free throw line.
So if you're John Macy, what do you tell your team at halftime?
You got to stay hustle. You got to stay aggressive, but you have to get down and slide your feet and keep your hands out of the cookie jar. We just can't. We want them to get in the bonus first. Period. No matter what defense you play.
Of course, the Highlanders playing maybe just a little bit short as they dress. I think they dress their 12 men, but. Of course, Mark Miller not in uniform tonight because of that sprained foot. He didn't play at all on the road last week. And Ricky Porter not playing because of the grade situation.
Not playing. It looks like you got a whole team over there sitting in street clothes.
Yeah, you got a pretty good team sitting in street clothes, as a matter of fact, with your Defensive Player of the Year last year for the Big West Conference.
That's right.
So here we go in the second 20 minutes tonight as the Tigers control the basketball, leading by 9.
Again, a good job by Hands, by hedging or stepping out on that screen, forcing the ball handler away from the basket.
Right hand hook by Kemper, no good, and he's going to grab a hold of Aaron Hands and will draw the foul.
I feel bad for Kemper. He just can't seem to find his range. He missed those 2 threes in the first half, and then he has a little 5-footer. And sometimes starting can affect guys in the flow of the game. Sometimes they do better coming off the bench, and with Moriker out and Kemper getting the start, it's affecting his rhythm a little bit.
Bell drops the ball inside to Carter, turns, swinging around to Galbraith, over Kemper, short, ball bounces around, ends up in the hands of Hands, back to Carter, his shot no good, may have been tipped from behind, but is going to stay with the Highlanders.
It was actually a clean block, actually good no call by the referees. But the award there for that play goes to Hands for getting on the ground, going after the basketball, getting it to Carter.
31 on the shot clock for the Highlanders.
Yeah, it's a pretty clean block up top. Refs did a good job in not blowing the whistle.
Bell to Butler, back to Galbraith. Look inside, high post is Hands.
There's
Butler.
The penetration. That's the type of penetration they need to start doing against that zone. Collapsing that defense.
Shot was tipped, ended up in the hands of Kemper. Back to Kemper now at the offensive end. Davis drops it down low to Johnson. Back to Kemper, over Carter, that's no good. They hustle for the ball, Butler ends up with it. Kemper tries to punch it loose, but can't. And now Butler's gonna need a timeout because he got whacked in the mouth.
Yeah, Kemper was going after the basketball there and took a pretty good swat at it.
As Butler's asking the official, am I bleeding? Do I have to leave?
I thought he was asking him, do I have all my teeth? Hey, I got all my teeth in here, ref.
I got all my chiclets.
Did you not see that? You know, that's what he's thinking. Looking on the ground for his tooth, trying to make the ref feel bad.
I know you missed the foul, but do I need to go see the dentist on the way home?
That's right.
Man. Mark Peters into the game. Bell down to Carter. Back out to Peters. Good snap pass over to Galbraith, and the corner is good for 3.
The play was set up by Carter and kicking out of the double team, and Peters seeing the shooter in the corner. That's great teamwork basketball.
Jackson tries to go around Peters, gets him on his hip. Shot no good. Hands has the rebound.
That was a great job by Peters in the no foul, moving his feet.
Carter tried to get it to Galbraith. I think John thought he was going to go to the basket and tried to get himself in rebound position.
You're exactly right. You're expected the scorer to score there.
Jackson, little fall-away jumper is good. Got the rub and the bounce.
Yeah, Jackson's got a little size advantage there on Peters, but Peters is doing a good job of staying in front of the basketball.
Remains a 9-point game here in the early moments of the second half. Gets Jackson up in the air. Peters down the middle. Off to Carter.
Penetration, baby. Peters getting into the heart of the zone, collapsing the defense, finds Nate Carter for a great and one. All the credit goes to Peters.
A chance to look at it again.
There he is. Look at him split the defense up top, draws the big man over. Carter has his hands ready. That's a great concentration finish by Carter. Getting shoved like that underneath the basket, boy, that's almost an intentional foul.
Yeah, I think that's what John Macy was yelling about. Conkle gave him a 2-hand shove right in the middle of the back. Carter's free throw is good as he completes the 3-point play. He has 11 on the game.
Big basket, big basket.
Islanders back to within 5 at 41-36. Jasko Karajcik back into the game. Inside, Johnson, no shot. Foul on Hands before the shot.
Yeah, Hands actually had decent position on him, but he put his hand in the cookie jar. You got to keep your hands out of the cookie jar so you don't get that foul. I'm sure we'll see it here on the replay. Watch Aaron Hands' left hand as he reaches in right there. Boom, there's the reach in. That's an obvious call for the referee on the foul.
So Conkle back in. Kraus Schilla back in for the Highlanders, replacing Aaron Hands, who leaves with 3 fouls.
That's tough. That's a tough way to go out of the basketball game.
And they bring the ball in deep into the backcourt to the Tigers. Karajcik turns on Carter, faces up on him, bounce the ball inside, it goes to Davis, and he's fouled.
Again, the aggressiveness on UC Riverside and going after the ball is good. What we can't have is guys getting into foul trouble on the reach here. Yeah, that's.
So once again, it's the same thing you've been preaching all night.
Yeah, I mean, how hard a call is that?
First foul of the game on Peters, second team foul of the half against the Highlanders. Johnson runs over Carter, gets the layup and in.
You know, surprisingly, they haven't taken advantage of that matchup more this game. I mean, Carter's 6'6", that kid's 6'10". He's just got to turn and shoot it over him.
That's Schilla way away from the basket. He can shoot it from out there. The coaches don't like him to necessarily. Peters looking for somebody to give it to, gets it out top to Galbraith. John terminates the dribble, gets it to Bell, has it knocked away from behind by Davis and out of bounds.
We've got a mismatch here with Conkle on Carter inside. It'll be interesting to see if UC Riverside will be able to take advantage of that. I like also Peters' aggressiveness on offense, really looking to attack the basket.
Peters drops it off his foot, able to go and get it, as Davis wasn't able to. With 3 to beat the clock is no good. Karajcik has the rebound. Ahead to Davis, up into the front court. Back to Karajcik. Back out top to Demetrius Jackson. Says, hang on, let me call it. Sets up the play. Into the middle, gets it off Conkle, fall away jumper. Out, Mark Peters up high to get the rebound.
Right now we got a tug of war going on for who's going to get the momentum in the second half.
Galbraith inside, and I think he landed out of bounds. Either way, it's a turnover. Kevin Butler back into the game. Jake Wetzel also back into the game. Take another look at this as it comes right down along the baseline.
It was actually a real nice pass, absolutely out of bounds.
Yep.
No question. Good job by the cameraman down at that end, getting that good angle.
Got that size 12 on the line. If you had a 10.5, you'd have been okay.
That's right.
Inside, Johnson. Oh, great entry pass, and Galbraith had no choice but to follow him.
It's interesting. The last time down, they went to Johnson inside. They saw they had the mismatch. Coach Thomason says, hey, that looked pretty good. I'm going to try that again.
See, you'll learn after a while, don't you?
Oh, man, I tell you what. Let's see here. He's doing a pretty good job. He's 6'10". There's nobody on the floor here except for Schiller that can guard him. Let's go inside again, fellas.
So Johnson's first one is no good. Not a good free throw shooter. If there's a part of his game that is a chink in the armor, it's the free throw shooting, as Johnson is only a 33%er on the season. Kellen Dixon will come back in for John Galbraith, who will leave with 3 fouls.
I'll tell you what, he's a big boy. Just looking at him in that screen right there, he's got some wide shoulders, big old legs. Look at his arms. I mean, that kid's big.
6'11", 260, and he wants the crowd to make more noise. And he made it. And then lets the crowd know that he made it.
I don't know about
as he puts his team back up by 8. Tigers lead at 44-36. Back with more after this.